Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. This is Joel Perez here for your weekly episodic news show. This is Behind the Mic, and it is Behind the Mic episode number 34 here. And once again, for the third week in a row, because I am an asshole, I apologize for bringing Behind the Mic to you on Sunday, but there is a very valid excuse this fucking week, because instead of being busy, first of all, I had Behind the Mic recorded on Friday, and me being a dumbass, shut down my computer before I fucking saved the file, which is so fucking stupid on my part. I will fucking blame myself for that. But at the same time, as Saturday rolled on, I realized that if you uploaded anything at all yesterday that was not regarding Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather or anything regarding their fight, you were not going to do any views on YouTube. So I decided not to upload yesterday for the betterment of the views of this video. So I'm doing myself a favor, and I'm doing all of you a favor, because you'll actually be able to see Behind the Mic episode number 33 this week. But that is besides the point. Besides me being an asshole and wanting views and not uploading yesterday for that very, very reason, this is Behind the Mic, and we are covering all of the biggest news stories in the WWE wrestling world for the week. And there is a lot of big news going around, no doubt about it. Some major news stories: Asuka relinquishing her NXT title, being the main one, and she can possibly be going to Raw or Smackdown. Right here, right now, I'm hearing Raw more than Smackdown. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that, but we are going to discuss Asuka and the relinquishing of her NXT title and everything having to do with that right here on Behind the Mic. We've got news on why Roman Reigns has not won a pay-per-view match since WrestleMania 33. That's a huge news story to me, because, as my fucking ringer goes off, of course, Roman Reigns, why the fuck hasn't he won? We're talking about that and the bullshit reason WWE has to justify that inside their brains. Makes no goddamn sense to me, but whatever. We got news on Brock Lesnar changing his mind on his status of re-signing with the WWE. This is another big one right here. Just a week of hard hitters. Brock Lesnar changing his mind on the reason, or on his status for re-signing with WWE after John Jones has failed his third fucking drug test for the UFC. Can you be more of a dumbass? Can you be more of a dumbass? No, you gotta be me to do that, but that is besides the point. We've got news on Jinder Mahal, the real reason why he is still WWE champion, and he went over Shinsuke Nakamura at SummerSlam. We're gonna go over the bullshit reason. WWE has to justify that in their head. We've got news on the WWE injury bug that has been going around, and Big Cass has been struck by it this time. Could be out for close to a year. And the final news story I have prepared for you guys is The Miz. His frustrations with the WWE have been running wild, and he was apparently given a platform on Monday Night Raw to speak out on that. So, we're going to talk about that news story and everything regarding that. Miz frustrated with the WWE and his position at SummerSlam 2017. We'll talk about that. But before we go into the news stories, of course, I'm going to throw in my plugs there. We had a huge week for Ringside Wrestling Entertainment just 1 week ago. Just one Sunday ago, we were doing huge things right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, because of course it was one of the biggest weekends of the year for wrestling. The second biggest weekend of the year, of course, it was SummerSlam weekend, and the amount of content that went up, not just that weekend, but that week, was insane, so y'all should make sure to go check out all of it. Of course, you got your SummerSlam 2017 review. I talked for an hour adamantly about the failure that show was in my mind, and I'm sure in your minds as well. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 and the success that show was in my mind, and of course in your mind as well, because that show was fantastic. We got Behind the Mic episode number 33, where we're talking huge news, particularly a lot of big news before SummerSlam 2017, but also a lot of big news regarding what was going around WWE in the future, going out of SummerSlam in that last episode of Behind the Mic, so make sure to go check that out. Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews, not just up for last week, but up for this week as well. So if you missed Monday Night Raw or want an educated opinion on SmackDown Live or Raw, or you want both, and you missed that, make sure to go check out the Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews, which went up. There were preview and predictions to SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver if you want to go check out my mindset before going into those two big shows. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to stay tuned because we're going straight into the news stories. We're going to start off here with this huge news story because it is Asuka relinquishing her NXT Women's Championship and headed to SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen Asuka, if you exclusively watch Raw and SmackDown and do not watch NXT, you are in for a treat with Asuka, the undefeated Asuka, bro. Holy shit. We are in for a treat, and they have done exactly what I wanted them to do with Asuka. For now, let's get into this news article, and I will give you my opinions after we read this news article. But here we are. The WWE's longest reigning NXT Women's Champion Asuka gave up her title belt on Thursday night, but it appears there will be a bright side. After suffering an unfortunate injury during last Saturday's NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 pay-per-view, Asuka's reign of over 500 days has been brought to an end. Still, based on what was relayed to the fans after she turned in the championship, one of the top female performers in professional wrestling today will be headed for the main roster. Will she be a part of Raw or SmackDown Live's roster? And if so, how soon can fans expect to see her there? As WrestleZone reported in their report on Thursday night, Asuka decided to relinquish her NXT Women's Championship during the television taping for NXT at Full Sail University. Normally, the titles are relinquished when a star suffers an injury, and that's the message given in the ring. Former SmackDown Live Women's Champion Naomi had that situation prior to WrestleMania 33. However, tonight, NXT General Manager William Regal informed fans that Asuka was handing over the title because she was in negotiations with Raw and SmackDown, but the injury was not mentioned as the reason for the title being turned in. The situation was further addressed on WWE's website with an official statement. Quote, NXT Women's Champion Asuka relinquished her title to NXT General Manager William Regal tonight at Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. After her dominant performance and historic 500-plus day reign as NXT Women's Champion, the Empress of Tomorrow looks to her future for new opportunities in WWE. Though no specific details are known at this time, her reign will officially end on the date that her historic announcement airs. Basically, with the announcement, the WWE is looking to extend Asuka's historic reign even more for the record books. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, as she's clearly been the best thing for many fans in terms of NXT. She's also become a strong asset to either the Raw or SmackDown women's roster, depending on which she's chosen for or chooses upon herself. Of course, several immediate questions pop up. such as who will become the next NXT Women's Champion and how. That's unknown right now, tournament, but one has to think top contender Ember Moon is the strongest candidate to finally take over, pun intended, the women's title. Besides Moon, there's also Ruby Riott and Sanity's Nikki Cross to consider. Another big question will be which roster Asuka joins. She's a highly popular and skilled superstar who would benefit both brands' women's division. A lot may depend on who is holding the Raw and SmackDown women's titles when she arrives. The fact that Carmella is Miss Money in the Bank provides a fitting opportunity once she cashes in. Natalya provides a highly experienced foe for Asuka too. An Asuka vs. Sasha Banks program might also work, or Asuka could start with Bayley, who she fought on the NXT roster once upon a time. It's always tough to gauge if a new call-up to the main roster will go right for a championship shot or be slowly put into that role. In the case of Shinsuke Nakamura, it's seeming to be slow. Who the fuck wrote this article, bro? Nakamura was rushed into a WWE title match at fucking SummerSlam. He should have been competing for that WWE Championship at WrestleMania 34, bro. Not at fucking SummerSlam, and he should still be undefeated. But clearly, the main roster knows nothing about keeping their talents undefeated, and that's what's worrying me for fucking Asuka. So, holy shit. But in the case of previous women's call-up Paige, she was immediately put into that women's title picture. There's no reason Asuka couldn't do the same. In terms of timetable, Asuka's right collarbone injury could have her on the sidelines for up to 8 weeks. That would put Asuka's return to the wrestling ring around the 2017 Survivor Series, which could make it for a great surprise debut in Houston, Texas. It will be interesting to see whether Asuka claims the red brand or the blue brand as her new home, though. This is very interesting. Clearly, this is going along the roads of what I predicted would happen. My prediction for what would happen here is before NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, Asuka would win and beat Ember Moon. She would defeat Ember Moon as she did at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I predicted by Dirty Tactics, but she beat Ember Moon in a fantastic bout. And that the next week on NXT, she would come out and relinquish her NXT title and say, I have proved that nobody is ready for Asuka. Goes up to the main roster, preferably SmackDown if you ask me. Goes through that entire roster for the entire year, preferably debuting at Survivor Series because of the collarbone injury, do an Undertaker-style debut where she knocks out the whole fucking locker room where Undertaker did that. I believe it was like Survivor Series 2005, made a return or some shit, and just knocked out the whole SmackDown roster. You can do that 5-on-5 elimination match, have SmackDown Live win, the whole women's roster celebrates in the ring, and Asuka comes in and just fucking destroys everybody there. That would be absolutely fantastic for a debut. But she reigns dominance the entire year, becomes women's champion, let's say at the Royal Rumble, and it becomes Asuka versus Charlotte at the Royal Rumble. That's what I would do. Asuka versus Charlotte, or not at the Royal Rumble, at WrestleMania, I should say. Asuka versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. You have Asuka defeat Charlotte at WrestleMania, retain her women's championship, come out the next SmackDown Live, and say, I did once again what I said I did in NXT and what I've been saying for months. Nobody is ready for Asuka. I have been undefeated for 2.5 years, and nobody can take on me. That's when Ember Moon comes out. Ember Moon says, I never beat you, Asuka. And you have Ember Moon keep it in her head the entire time she's in NXT. She's going to get her NXT Women's Championship run. She's going to lose her NXT Women's Championship. And she's going to keep it in her head her entire NXT run. I never beat Asuka. I never beat Asuka. Comes up, finally face off with Asuka. book it for the next pay-per-view, right? Everybody's pissed off. Why would you give that away at a B-level pay-per-view, preferably whatever fucking pay-per-view you have after WrestleMania that year? And you book it for the next pay-per-view. Everybody's excited to see the match, but they're like, why the fuck is this going on so early? Asuka attacks Ember Moon before the match. Ember Moon is put on the sidelines for 2 months. You have her come back a month and a half before SummerSlam, runs through everybody in the Smackdown women's division, similar to Asuka, have her fight Charlotte, have her fight Natty, have her fight Naomi, have her fight Becky, makes her way through the roster, and at SummerSlam, she's going into a showdown with none other than the NXT Women's Champion, the undefeated Asuka, 1 year after she fought her at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. And finally, at that pay-per-view event, SummerSlam 2018, on the grander stage for the grander championship, finally, Ember Moon beats Asuka. That is what I wanted to do, and right now, I am super glad that they are heading along that path. Fantastic decision to continue heading along the path that I have laid out multiple times throughout my videos. Have her relinquish the NXT Women's Championship, whether they had her do that because of the injury or because they want her to go to Raw or SmackDown Live, I think is fantastic. Have her have that Survivor Series debut, whether it is for Raw or SmackDown. You can really do the same for Raw and SmackDown, but I really would rather have her go to SmackDown because, I mean, the matchup with Charlotte really is a dream match. I would rather want to see WrestleMania occupied for Raw by Sasha Banks and Bayley instead of by Asuka and a Sasha Banks or an Asuka and a Bayley. I just feel Charlotte versus Asuka has more appeal, and I mean, I would love to see that happen. I would love to see that happen. Definitely, I have my fucking concerns for what they will do with Asuka, because I am sure, damn sure, that WWE has some plans that will fuck up what she's done, but hopefully things remain on track and Asuka's undefeated streak will end around SummerSlam next year. That's what I would do with Asuka. Tell me in the comment section below what you would do with her. I'm glad that she is coming to the main roster. If you have not seen her yet, you are in for a treat. The intensity that comes with Asuka. I can't wait for the dream matches we can see. Becky, Naomi, Natalya, those are all great matches that Asuka can have. A nice match with Carmella is laid out on SmackDown Live. I mean, a lot of good things, and for the meanwhile, I would put Billie Kay and Peyton Royce on Monday Night Raw just to fill that void and give them some new women's talent on Raw. So leave it in the comment section below. What would you do with Asuka going into the main roster? Do you like my proposed idea? But for now, we are going to move on. But I am super happy that Asuka is going up to the main roster. We've got huge news on the real reason Roman Reigns hasn't won a pay-per-view match since WrestleMania 33. At WrestleMania 33, Roman Reigns defeated The Undertaker in the main event of the show. The fans were extremely unhappy about his victory because the match was expected to serve as The Undertaker's retirement match. Since the grandest stage of them all, the WWE Universe has been more cross with Reigns than ever before, but WWE officials have booked him in a specific way to try to get fans back on Roman's side. Roman Reigns hasn't won a match on pay-per-view since WrestleMania. On paper, it's illogical for Reigns to lose, as he has after ending The Undertaker's career, but it's being speculated that his booking is in an effort to get the fans on his side, because there have been a lot of complaints over the years about him winning too many matches. It seems that WWE officials are hopeful that some big losses will gain sympathy from fans. A lot of people would argue that Roman Reigns losing big matches on a regular basis is exactly what WWE fans want, so booking him this way will only enforce his dynamic with the WWE Universe. John Cena has been brought back to Raw specifically to work with and put over Reigns. It's unclear if the WWE Universe will favor Cena or Reigns in their rivalry, but the odds are likely they will stand behind Cena over Roman. WWE officials are still determined to make Roman Reigns the top babyface of the company. On paper, that is his role, but the reaction he receives on WWE programming makes it hard for him to really embrace the role. Obviously, WWE officials booking him to lose more often isn't an attempt to make Roman an underdog against monsters like Braun Strowman or Brock Lesnar. However, many fans aren't buying that anymore. Roman Reigns is still headed for a massive match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34 next year in New Orleans. The WWE Universe knows that it is the plan, but the powers that be are going to need to try another angle if they want to see Roman Reigns win the WWE Universal Championship to a positive reaction from the WWE Universe. WWE officials have shown they are willing to deal with the poor response, but booking Reigns to lose isn't doing him any favors in the eyes of critics. They're more than happy to see him lose. Are you fucking kidding me? This is how you're trying to get Roman Reigns over? Really? Are you this desperate? Reigns isn't getting over at this point. Reigns isn't getting over. After 3 fucking years of being shoved down our fucking throats, do you really think a couple months of booking him to lose? First of all, you haven't done that in any fashion, because on Monday Night Raw, he's picked up clean wins over Bray Wyatt, clean wins over Finn Balor, clean wins over Seth Rollins, pinned Samoa Joe in a triple threat match. So, I mean, you've been giving this guy wins, back and forth on Raw. So, I mean, really, first of all, you think we're supposed to get over that. You think we forget that so easily, right? And on top of that, he beat the fucking Undertaker at WrestleMania. You really think people are going to get over that in a fucking minute? He, at least right now, retired the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Do you really think people are going to get over that in a minute? They're not. They are simply not going to get over that so quickly, and you think giving him a couple losses at a pay-per-view is going to do anything. You have shoved this guy down our throat for 3 years. You have given him WrestleMania coronations, back and forth, matches against The Undertaker, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, bro. I mean, shit, you have fucking made it clear that this is your big dog, and we have taken him in and spit him right back out, yet you continue to shove this guy down our throats. Turn the guy heel, make him appreciated as a heel, because I'm sure Roman Reigns would be a fantastic heel. He has that cocky prick nature within him. I know he can play the character. He's practically playing it right now, saying, oh, I don't need to prepare for this fucking match. I'm too good, blah, blah, blah. Have him embrace that to the 120%, bro. I mean, shit, is it so hard? Have him be appreciated as a heel, and then in the future, if you want to turn him babyface, go ahead. But right now, it's clearly not working, and having him lose a couple matches on pay-per-view, first of all, they've mostly been multi-man matches, where Reigns hasn't been pinned. The Extreme Rules Fatal 5-Way, Reigns was nowhere near the end of that matchup. Great Balls of Fire, he was just shoved in an ambulance, and after that, he fucking got up and fucking destroyed Braun Strowman with the fucking ambulance into the semi. So, I mean, Roman Reigns really hasn't been looking bad. He really has not been looking bad. Only place where he really looked kind of bad is where Brock Lesnar was the one to pin Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. He was the one to take the pinfall at SummerSlam. But besides that, there's been no notable Roman Reigns pins. And the match at Payback with Braun Strowman, they were marketing the entire time that Roman Reigns was not at 100%. He probably wasn't at 50% the way WWE was looking at it. So that loss really wasn't anything either. Each loss of Roman Reigns has either been sugar-coated or there's something behind it. So, I mean, shit, bro. Really, he's not looking bad. He is not looking bad. And WWE trying to make him look bad trying to give him these losses. Like, bro, you're undermining yourself. Turn the guy heel, have him be appreciated as a fucking heel, and then when you turn him babyface, people will fucking be more receptive to him. They will be more receptive to him because he came out of this great heel run. They'll forget the fucking nausea by then. If you have him turn heel for a year and a half, they'll forget the nausea a little bit more of his 3-year run as a fucking babyface. They will accept him a little bit more instead of just fucking throwing him up like we've been forced to, because WWE just simply shoves this guy down our throats. Roman Reigns is awful in his current state. Absolutely terrible. The way Roman Reigns has been booked to kick out of 8 finishers and kick out at 2, it's awful. It is absolutely disgusting. Terrible, bro. And there is no fucking way. There's no fucking way WWE is going to reverse that until you do a heel turn, and he's either going to be appreciated as a heel, or a lot of people will start warming up to him because he's so great in that heel role, because Roman Reigns is a genuine asshole. I don't give a fuck what you tell me, bro. From interviews, from what he says on Twitter, he's a genuine asshole to me, or he will be fucking just hated so much that he fits right into the role. So turn him heel. That is the only way you will reverse this. Not through bullshit losses, bro. For now, let's move on here, because this is an absolute bullshit story, bro. Awful. But we're moving on here to another huge news story. Jon Jones fucking failing like an idiot another drug test. Another drug test. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. But Brock Lesnar now changing his mind on his status about re-signing with WWE because of Jon Jones' failure in his drug test. What's going on with this goddamn story over here? Where the fuck is it? Right here. Brock Lesnar has changed his mind about his status with re-signing with the WWE after Jon Jones' failure drug test. At WWE SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar retained the WWE Universal Champion after the Fatal 4-Way match. The WWE Universe was speculating about Lesnar's future after Paul Heyman threatened that Brock would leave the company if he lost the title at SummerSlam. Although that didn't happen, there has been a lot of speculation recently about Brock Lesnar wanting to step back into the octagon for another big fight. For a few weeks, Jon Jones versus Brock Lesnar seemed to be the next big fight for the Beast Incarnate set for next summer. Their fight would have been a major event for sports entertainment, but Jon Jones recently tested positive for steroids, which has stripped him of the UFC light heavyweight title and has suspended him indefinitely from the promotion. Now a fight between Jones versus Lesnar could be too good to be true. It's being reported that Jones' suspension may have drastically changed Brock Lesnar's career plans. Brock could leave WWE after his contract expires after WrestleMania 34 next year. However, there aren't any big enough fights for Lesnar to have that would be nearly as marketable as Jones. If the latter is suspended for an extended period of time, it's very likely that Lesnar will reconsider signing with another WWE contract. A lot can happen between now and next April, but the odds of Lesnar signing another deal with WWE have drastically increased, especially considering Jones versus Lesnar could still happen, but inside a WWE ring. There's plenty of red tape to get through if WWE officials could pull off that fight, but it seems their fight will either happen on WWE programming or not at all. On paper, that could be enough for Lesnar to sign another contract. The expectation is Brock Lesnar will keep the WWE Universal Championship through WrestleMania 34 unless something drastic happens. Braun Strowman. WWE officials appear to have their hearts set on a rematch between Lesnar versus Reigns in New Orleans next year. The WWE Universe still doesn't appreciate Brock leaving WWE television for months on end with the Universal title, but his star power is undeniable when he does appear on WWE programming. until the smoke settles from the John Jones situation, it seems Lesnar could be staying put. And I'm actually glad about this news, bro. Because Lesnar leaving the WWE has drastic repercussions, if you ask me. The amount of dream matches that could be happening with Brock Lesnar if he does resign is crazy. There seems to be a lot of or not that much time left with Brock Lesnar if he does not re-sign after WrestleMania 34, which after this, he is. I mean, he is re-signing, bro. I mean, the only reason Brock Lesnar was going to leave WWE was to go back to the UFC because Brock Lesnar still does have a vested interest in completing what he could not finish in the UFC, and he wants to become UFC champion once more. But if John Jones is such a fucking idiot, if the only really money match that he can fucking have is now in jeopardy, why would he resign? Why would he resign? And if WWE wants to, yeah, the article has a point. They could possibly do the match in a WWE ring. Do I think that's going to be the case? Hopefully not, because that sounds just way too fucking bullshit. But, I mean, Brock Lesnar resigning opens the fucking horizons up. It really fucking does. For matches down in NXT not matches down in NXT, matches with NXT superstars, I should say, that are currently fucking brewing, that I'm just like, shit, I'd love to see a match with Brock Lesnar and this superstar. Aleister Black for one, holy shit. Aleister Black and Brock Lesnar would be absolutely fantastic. Lars Sullivan, who is still very new in NXT, but I think could be the next Braun Strowman if fucking things go the right way. You got Shinsuke Nakamura, who I would still love to see a dream match between Nakamura and Lesnar. I still think that is very viable, a little more so when he was down in NXT and he was still being booked correctly. But yeah, Nakamura, still a very big dream match there. I still want to see another match with Lesnar and Joe, hopefully one that will be longer. I want to see that again. Strowman and Lesnar happening at No Mercy. Wyatt and Lesnar has been something thrown around, and that's going to happen soon. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure I even want to see that. But there's a lot of possibilities. There are a lot of possibilities, no doubt about it, for what Brock Lesnar could still do in a WWE ring. If you want to bring The Rock back, you can do Rock versus Brock 2. Kurt Angle is in the fucking WWE right now. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar once again in a sequel at WrestleMania in the future would be absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I would absolutely love to see that. So there's a lot of matches Brock Lesnar could still have. If you want to have a Finn Balor Brock Lesnar match, I guess that could be on the table, despite the fact that I don't really see those two matching up. But there is a lot of dream matches that you can have. Baron Corbin, if you want to fucking book Baron Corbin correctly, that is. But Baron Corbin and Brock Lesnar. So as you can see, there are a lot of dream matches in WWE right now that still have not happened with Brock Lesnar, and with the current way his contract is going, that will never happen. So if he does resign, I feel there is a possibility for Brock Lesnar to do big, big things, because I feel Brock Lesnar's WWE run is going to go like this. He's going to go at No Mercy. If he retains the Universal Championship, which hopefully he does not, if he retains the Universal Championship, a defense against somebody at the Royal Rumble. I don't fucking know who is going to contest for Brock Lesnar's Universal title at the Royal Rumble. I have no fucking idea. Maybe they will build up Finn Balor. Maybe they will build up... I just don't know. I just don't fucking know. It depends where we are going into the Royal Rumble. If he fucking loses the Universal Championship, he'll enter the Royal Rumble match. But if he fucking retains, WrestleMania 34, deadlock with Roman Reigns. Deadlock with Roman Reigns. And I do not like the idea of that, but I mean, that's the way it seems to be going. Deadlock with Roman Reigns if he retains the Universal Championship against Braun Strowman, which I do not see happening. But I mean, there's just a lot of possibilities for what you can do with Brock Lesnar, and I feel that that is a very exciting thing. And I mean, John Jones, you fucked up, bro. You fucking fucked up again. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how, by this point, you have not fucking learned, but you fucked up once again, and now Brock Lesnar is going to continue in the WWE, giving us some dream matches we would like to see. For now, with that little rhyme right there, let's move on to the next news story. The real reason why Jinder Mahal retained the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. As you can presume, this is absolute fucking bullshit, and WWE gassing their heads up with the bullshit logical explanation for why Jinder Mahal had to retain at SummerSlam. Holy shit. The outcome of WWE Championship at the SummerSlam 2017. What the fuck is this article on? The SummerSlam! But, that's besides the point. At the SummerSlam 2017, shocked the WWE Universe to the core. While handing over the title to Shinsuke Nakamura so early in his career was debatable, no one expected Jinder Mahal to retain the title. The King of Strong Style lost his first ever match, or ever title match, to Jinder Mahal. He lost his first ever match on the main roster, but whatever. However, it appears that the real reason for Jinder Mahal retaining the title had nothing to do with Jinder Mahal or Shinsuke Nakamura. Baron Corbin's downfall led to the rise of Jinder Mahal. As reported by Sportskeeda, the recent decision to de-push Baron Corbin resulted in the surprising outcome on Sunday. The original plan was to let Shinsuke Nakamura emerge victorious at SummerSlam, and Baron Corbin was going to cash in the Money in the Bank contract immediately. That's not even the way I would have done it. I would have had Baron Corbin come in, like Seth Rollins did at WrestleMania, make this match a triple threat, like Seth Rollins did with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and he would pin Jinder Mahal to win the WWE Championship. That's what I would have done. I would have let Shinsuke hit the Kinshasa immediately. Baron Corbin comes out, makes it a triple threat. End of days to Shinsuke. Shinsuke rolls out. And then end of days to Mr. Modern Day Maharaja. 1, 2, 3. Baron Corbin is your WWE Champion. But clearly WWE likes to be fuck-ups, so that did not fucking happen. It is rumored that this was the prime reason that Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Nakamura barely interacted on TV. The unexpected decision by WWE officials is rumored to be due to Baron Corbin's theatrics on Twitter. He has been involved in a bitter Twitter rivalry with Mojo Rawley, Nikki Bella, and wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer, and even an Army veteran. Twitter battles? Really? Because Baron Corbin is a fucking heel and he's been portraying that character on social media, you feel the need to punish him? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? But it is rumored that he also blocked some WWE officials on Twitter. Corbin was speculated to become the champion by the end of the year before officials decided to scrap the plans. Interestingly, the Smackdown Live writer Road Dogg denied the fact that Baron Corbin was buried due to his antics on Twitter, as reported by Wrestling Inc. Notably, Corbin is only the third person in history to unsuccessfully cash in Money in the Bank. That's throwing him in with the fucking Damian Sandow League right there, but it is entirely possible that Baron Corbin's Twitter feuds were making the company look bad, and the officials decided to give Corbin some attitude adjustment before again giving him a big push. This guy messaged Road Dogg on Twitter, King Koopa. He said, at WWE Road Dogg, can you please explain to me what happened to Baron Corbin last night, Mr. Dog? And Brian James, with the little fucking attitude, he lost to Cena in a match. King Koopa responds, okay, but how do you expect Baron Corbin to get over when he loses the Money in the Bank briefcase and loses his most important match at SummerSlam? Brian James responds, Road Dogg responds, I just don't see how working with Cena at SummerSlam is a negative. It's one beat of the whole song, one moment in a long career. The negative about that is that fucking Cena, during this match, was fucking running around at ringside, putting on JBL's fucking hat, laughing and dancing around, and fucking smiling the whole fucking match like he was in a joke of a match. And it makes Baron Corbin look like a fucking idiot. Like a fucking idiot and a dumbass and somebody who has no fucking balls when he lost the Money in the Bank briefcase a couple nights before SummerSlam, like 5 days before SummerSlam, and he has no curiosity to suit. That's what makes no goddamn sense. What makes no goddamn sense is that the guy fucking came in during the Jinder Mahal Cena match after Jinder Mahal had taken 2 fucking AAs, one off the top rope. First of all, he broke up that match right after the Super AA, and it took him until he got halfway through the fucking ramp, almost at the arena at that fucking point, to fucking realize that he had a Money in the Bank briefcase in his fucking hands, and that was the WWE Champion lying vulnerable in the ring, and one little distraction by John Cena, and a roll-up at an 100% Baron Corbin when Jinder Mahal was at, like, what, 30%, bro, was able to fucking destroy Baron Corbin 1, 2, 3 in all his aspirations. That is what makes him look like a dumbass. That is what makes him look buried. The fact that you're making him look illogical and stupid and dumb, that is what buried Baron Corbin in reality. But King Koopa responds here. He says, I see what you're saying, but it's going to take a whole lot to make Baron Corbin credible again. Yes, it would damn better take a whole fucking lot, and you better put your fucking effort into that, because you did a bullshit ass thing, especially considering the fact that John Cena the next night after beating Baron Corbin was gonna go to Raw and gonna get a fresh reset anyways, bro. Holy shit. But Brian James with the fucking little corny little WWE mindset response here. Well, it's a good thing we have 52 weeks this year, and the same again next year. I'm being facetious, or whatever the fuck that word is, but I think you get my point. Fuck you. Fuck you, Road Dogg. Clearly they're not going to give an inch, but that's just the WWE mentality, if you ever want to hear it. But continuing this article, even until the afternoon on Sunday, the plans were to end the match in DQ. However, rumors indicate that an entire piece of positive coverage by New York Times on Jinder Mahal resulted in the decision for Mahal to beat Nakamura via pinfall. So, an article via the New York Times was the reason you fucking gave Jinder Mahal the WWE Championship. I'm glad that's where your fucking opinions come from, WWE. And fuck you, New York Times, for publishing that article, by the way. Because if not, we'd have a much better result on our hands, but that's besides the point. In the coming months, the feud between Mahal and Nakamura will be extended to Hell in a Cell. It is believed that the WWE Championship will change hands at the event. WWE fans, do you think that the booking of Baron Corbin was bizarre? Yes, I do think it was fucking bizarre. I think it was fucking stupid. As a matter of fact, holy shit. You completely buried Baron Corbin. You fucking stripped him of his Money in the Bank briefcase. You stripped him of his awesome fucking theme music. You stripped him of a SummerSlam moment and of a SummerSlam win against John Cena. And, I mean, he's just a fucking failure at this point. Baron Corbin is a fucking failure. And that is due to you. And Nakamura going down the same fucking path, losing to Jinder Mahal. But for now, we're going to move on from this bullshit story here. And we're going to go to more bullshit because we've got news on The Miz's frustration with the WWE and where he currently is with the WWE, and why shouldn't he be? He's the fucking Intercontinental Champion, and he had to compete in front of an empty fucking arena at SummerSlam. Absolutely fucking bullshit, but let's talk about this. WWE SummerSlam is the second biggest event for WWE each year. It's understandable that WWE officials are forced to make hard decisions for the card, and some performers are not featured strongly. For instance, The Miz and the Intercontinental title were forced to take a back seat this year. Miz was a part of a tag team match involving him teaming with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel against the Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan. However, it was revealed shortly after the biggest party of the summer that the six-man tag happened in front of a nearly empty arena. The Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan were a part of the match, so the powers that be weren't intentionally booking anyone in front of an empty Barclays Center. Unfortunately, the doors to the arena didn't open until 5 when WWE began the kickoff show, so most fans were not in their seats. Regardless of the reason, it is being reported that The Miz and many others in the match were furious to be performing in front of a nearly empty arena, despite WWE SummerSlam being the second biggest event of the year. The Miz was said to be the most upset, which is why he was given the microphone on Raw to vent some of his frustration out on WWE television. Miz's promo was said to be mostly a shoot from the heart. The segment would lead to a tag team match between Miz and Samoa Joe against Roman Reigns and John Cena, where, by the way, Miz would take the pinfall in that fucking match. So, great way to treat your talent right there, WWE. But that's besides the point. It is not clear if WWE officials are planning for the Intercontinental Champion to continue to use his time on the microphone to air his frustrations, but this week's promo was a look into how Miz really feels about his booking at SummerSlam and how his reign with the Intercontinental Championship has been. The WWE Universe has been giving The Miz his due since his run on Smackdown Live over the past year and a half. He's been one of the most consistent performers in the company. Many people are sympathizing with him being forced into a bad situation on Sunday. Going forward, the WWE Universe could turn in his favor, which could lead to even bigger and better things for The Miz for the rest of the year. His first run as a main eventer was criticized by a lot of people, but Miz is twice a performer now. He may truly be ready. Him being a main eventer, I mean, I don't know why the fuck that article is mentioning that. But as far as his treatment goes, I mean, he is the fucking Intercontinental Champion. And the Intercontinental Championship and the Intercontinental Champion in general should not be fucking treated and sidelined to a pre-show. The Hardys, who shouldn't have been on a pre-show either, at least they had an excuse, bro. Their opponents in the Revival were injured, and that's why they weren't on the main show, where they probably had big plans to become broken or woken or whatever the fuck. But, I mean, The Miz, your Intercontinental Champion, should not be on the fucking pre-show. And for a guy like The Miz, who probably grew up watching guys like Mr. Perfect and Hulk Hogan, and, I mean, just, fucking The Rock and Stone Cold, and all these prestigious guys holding the Intercontinental Championship. For a guy who grew up watching all these guys holding that title, I mean, he, holding that title now, probably wants to do it some fucking justice. And the fact that he's being put on the fucking pre-show, he feels sidelined. And especially for The Miz himself as a performer, I mean, he has been in WWE for like over 10 years now. He has earned his due. He has earned his role in the WWE. And to be sidelined to the pre-show, I can understand where Miz feels frustrated. And I'm glad he was given the platform to fucking speak out. Because, I mean, WWE probably knows that. WWE probably knows that. And to put The Miz on the fucking pre-show, to put the Intercontinental Championship on the pre-show after what Miz did last year, especially, bro. Especially, the Intercontinental Championship had a highlight year in the hands of The Miz last year, bro. That Fatal 4-Way, he had a Payback or Extreme Rules with the Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. That was great. His matches with Dolph Ziggler, especially the one at No Mercy, the ladder match, I mean, at TLC, I mean, it was all great. He did a lot of good things on SmackDown Live. And now to come to Monday Night Raw, to come to a bigger stage, The Miz is probably happy about that. But then, WWE, being the fucking assholes they are, wants to rip that out of The Miz's hands, and they want to fucking sideline him to a pre-show where he's competing in front of nobody like this is a fucking indie event for a fucking small indie company. That's not how an Intercontinental Champion should feel. No offense to the fucking indie wrestling scene, because I love the indie wrestling scene. But when it comes to the second biggest pay-per-view of the year for the biggest company in all of professional wrestling, the Intercontinental Championship should not be being displayed in front of nobody. And The Miz knows that. And The Miz is frustrated by that. And when, especially what he was talking about in his promo, when guys like Roman Reigns and John Cena, who was in a meaningless fucking match with Baron Corbin, which had no fucking right to be on SummerSlam. I mean, when that is the fucking case, I would be frustrated too. I would be frustrated too. You could have easily put The Miz in a match with Jason Jordan and had the Intercontinental Championship on the main show. And that could have very well built on a storyline with Jason Jordan that Kurt Angle gave him a fucking title shot way too fast. And, I mean, he's just being pushed to the top. Pushed to the top. That could have worked. That could have fucking worked. But of course not. WWE, being the fucking assholes that they are, had to fucking play their cards the way they did. And now you got a frustrated Miz on your fucking hands. And he's probably going to become more frustrated with WWE. Because probably what's going to happen is that in the recent future, Miz is going to fucking lose the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I can very well see that happening. Because there are rumors right now that Miz is going to go into a feud with Roman Reigns. I don't fucking know about that. That sounds awful. And Reigns is going to take the title off the fucking Miz. And Reigns is going to go into WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar for both titles on the fucking line. Which sounds absolutely disgusting. I have no fucking idea. But that's the way things are looking right now. And not looking good for the Miz, bro. Not looking good for the Miz whatsoever. But he cut a great promo on Monday Night Raw. Great shoot promo by The Miz, and I completely understand his frustrations. For now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the closing segments, simply due to time constraints, because we do not have time for the big cast story. We will talk about that probably on Monday Night Raw, before we do start our Monday Night Raw review. So, for now, ladies and gentlemen, we will move on to the final closing segments of Behind the Mic, episode number 34. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for Behind the Mic, episode number 34. I hope you guys enjoyed each and every single thing you heard here. Like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, because there's so much other content to go check out. Raw reviews, Smackdown reviews, Behind the Mic each and every single Saturday usually, but it couldn't go up yesterday because of the fight that was Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Very good fight, but I mean, in the end, Conor McGregor, Mayweather was just waiting him out. He knew that McGregor would get tired eventually, because offense to offense, McGregor would probably win that fight. No doubt about it. But Mayweather, being the professional he is, knew that McGregor was going to go on the offensive, and McGregor really had no fucking defense. He never had his fucking fists up, which was really a downfall and a weakness of him. But Mayweather knew that he would eventually get tired out. And as soon as McGregor did get tired out, those first couple rounds, McGregor did a very good job at kind of breaking into the defense of Mayweather. But as he soon got tired, more and more fatigued throughout the matchup, round 6, 7, and 8 started to go more towards the side of Mayweather. And then 9, it was just all Mayweather. And by the 10th, you knew it was going to be over soon, and it did result in a technical knockout. Mayweather is 50-0. I mean, I feel like McGregor could be a very good boxer. I feel like McGregor was a very good boxer, and for his first matchup in professional boxing, he did very well. He did very, very well, and I feel like if he wanted to be a professional boxer, he could do very well. But, I mean, he started off against probably the best professional boxer, some could argue, of all time. Some could argue of the generation. So, I mean, Mayweather versus McGregor, clearly, I think Mayweather was going to win, and I think that was clear from the beginning. But it was a very, very entertaining bout, and I was happy to be watching it. But that is besides the point. because for now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be it for Behind the Mic episode number 34. I hope you guys enjoyed each and every single thing you heard here. Make sure to subscribe for everything regarding the WWE right here on Behind the Mic. Make sure to like if you enjoyed what you heard here, and make sure to comment what you thought about each and every single one of these news stories in the comment section below, because for now, this has been Joel Perez of the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, and for now, I will see you all tomorrow, I believe, for Monday Night Raw. Not I believe, I know I will see you all tomorrow for your Monday Night Raw review and results. So for now, thank you very, very much for watching this video, because I am out of here.